I'm standing on Government Street between Hamilton and Lawrence Streets. Behind me is the Mobile Area Chamber of Commerce. In the 1830s, however, there was a large raised cottage sitting here. It was built in the early part of that decade by an attorney named Samuel Aker. The house went through a series of owners until 1897, when the First National Bank of Mobile's president, James Masson, purchased it. Mr. Masson was recently divorced, and with good reason. His ex-wife had claimed severe abuse, as had their sons. He moved into this house and spent approximately $3,700 taking that Gulf Coast cottage look and making it Victorian. He lived here under some dicey circumstances. Testimony would later come out that he had a favorite servant that would go procure women for him at night. And when a prominent Mobilian questioned him about this and said this really wasn't suitable for the president of the oldest bank in Mobile, his response was, "Why, don't I pay them enough?" He remarried, believe it or not, and ended up leaving his entire estate to the second wife, much to the chagrin of his only son, who then promptly sued the estate in 1908 and made huge headlines in Mobile with all kinds of scandalous talk about Mr. Masson and his behaviors. The house went through a couple of more owners, including the YWCA during World War I, before Miss Masson-Minge purchased it in 1924. Miss Masson owned a popular floral shop over in Bienville Square. But in the 1920s, as automobile traffic increased, the city of Mobile began installing parking meters around Bienville Square. Miss Minge's customers were not happy about the parking meters, and to get away from the parking meters, she literally bought the house that stood here on Government Street, and then had architect Platt Roberts build a commercial facade in front of it. Now, though the facade was nice looking, the neighbors were furious. They did not want a commercial entity right between them. Zoning was not in existence in those days, so Miss Masson got her florist shop. She owned it until the early 1960s. In fact, in 1966, Urban Renewal Center information that they wanted her property because this was to be torn down and be part of a complex with a motel on it. Miss Masson-Minge left in 1966. The house was demolished in 1967. That big motel that was planned never developed, and the property lay vacant until the 1980s when the Mobile Area Chamber of Commerce got the block and built their headquarters here.